Good afternoon and welcome to a new weekend in TCR South America. We are live from one of the newest, if not the newest, circuits in Argentina. This is VILLICUM in San Juan province, a province that has been legendary following their big heritage with the Sonda circuits in this province. But here, we are here in this circuit open in 2018, and that has been a venue for a few seasons in TCR South America. Therefore, we are all set for very good racing in this new round number 3 of the championship, as we are heading into the midpoint of the season in a very, very nice championship we are enjoying throughout 2025, the 5th season in history of this series. And therefore, ready to kick off once again another weekend tackling another round of the tournament. We come from the 2 practice sessions, first and second, led by Nelson Piquet Jr., the Brazilian driver, the former Formula 1 driver, that has been setting some really quick lap times in both practice sessions, followed by Lincoln Go driver Fabian Gianantuoni in practice 1 from Palladini Racing. As we have 4 drivers to be eliminated here. Let's hear from our pit reporter, the birthday boy Mariano Colombo, who turned 33 yesterday. So our biggest and best wishes to him. Beautiful afternoon. And we're surrounded by mountains. We had very nice, very strong pace from Nelson Piquet Jr. as Mariano is laying out, is pointing out. 16 cars this weekend as we have the debut for Ezequiel Bastidas in Palladini Racing with an Audi, the only Audi in this weekend. Here we have father and son, Leonel Pernia on the left, Thiago Pernia on the right side of the screen. Here is Luis Ramirez, the driver from Panama, who has his right door closed now. So we're heading through Q1 in a minute, and here is Ezequiel Bastidas, the newcomer, 24 years old, from Entre Rios province. Here is our drone flying through the pit lane. And Q1 is now underway in VILLICUM in San Juan. TCR South America comes out on track. My name is Francisco Aure. It's a pleasure to be with you for one more round of the season in 2025. In the 3rd round of the season, following the opener in Rosario and then the 2nd round celebrated in Oberá in Misiones province. We remain at the north of the country. Here are our cars now heading out on track. 16 cars right now in these very challenging circuits. Here is our warm-up laps, installation laps in VILLICUM. Here is car number 66 of Gennaro Rasetto. Cars are slowly heading into the main straight, so they open their laps. Here is Pedro Cardoso, the series champion. Leonel Pernilla about. Try to take a lap flats, saying that was what the engineer said to Leonel Pernilla to warm up the tire. This is Cardoso with a bit of a momentum. About to lose control of the car. Pedro Cardoso opening his lap. Yet no lap time sets. The benchmark, as far as now, was set on 142.6 in first practice session by Nelson Piquet Jr. He improved to 142.3. So we're already beating some lap times from the past seasons in VILLICUM. Here is Cardoso coming out on track and about to post his first lap time 143.7. That's certainly going to be improved. As I say, we come from 142.3 in free practice 2. Santino Ballerini moves up to second. He's the second driver to close the lap. Now we'll see what Gian Antoni does. He's been quite competitive also in the practice sessions, and he goes to the top, leaving Cardoso, Ballerini and Enzo Gianfrati behind. Now Thiago Pernilla moves up, 142.9. Here's car number 88, driven by Adrian Chiriano. Just overtaking a car. Chiriano, one of the contenders in TCR Trophy. As we said, here we have the debut of Ezequiel Bastidas, 24-year-old driver from Argentina. Second place in Argentinian Formula Renault Championship back in 2017. As Thiago Pernilla moves up into the lead, here he is. Bastidas completing the 4-car lineup in Palladini Racing, who bring in 3 brands, 2 Lincoln Co's, Juan Angel Rosa and Fabian Gianantuoni, the Toyota Corolla of Santino Ballerini and Ezequiel Bastidas with an Audi RS3. Go on board with Leonel Pernilla, one of the title contenders and standings leader. He's now heading into the pits. His son Tiago is on the lead. Cardoso is half a second behind in second place. Gianantuoni 7/10 off in third. Juan Angel Rosa is in fourth. Mariano Pernilla in fifth. Remember, the last 4 will be knocked out. Nelson Piquet Jr. 1/10 off. 2/10 by sector 2. Here he is going through sectors 3 and 4 on his way to complete a lap. The Brazilian driver who scored 2 podiums so far in the season. Second place in Rosario in race number 1 and third place in race 1 in Oberá. Now he's improving in sector 3, sets the record, but he's still not so close to Tiago Pernilla to challenge for first place. Locking up the brakes and going off, going wide. Wasted efforts. He'll have to cool down a bit. And see if he can move somewhere else, losing 1.6 seconds. Enough to be in 9th place, but certainly not reflecting his full potential after running wide in that turn. Here he is, locking up the brakes in the last turns. Luis Ramirez jumping up to 5th place. The driver from Panama. Taking now turn 1. Here is the Panamanian driver. Turn 4 and 5 now. Now backing off a bit. is now taking turn number 8. In a slow down lap. Lionel Pernia now trying to set his first lap time. There is the Argentinian coming out onto the main straight to close his first lap. Let's see where he is placed. Wasn't a competitive lap at all. Not a really big effort. Pernia set his last lap in 7th. Thiago Pernia is on the lead. Cardoso is in 2nd. Gianantonio in 3rd, as you can read on screen. Right now Gianantonio is on a lap as we watch Sebastian Martino. Fabian Gianantonio was improving his record in sector 1, and now Lionel Pernia opens up quicker, improving his son's time but losing a bit in sector 2. Go on board with him as he's about to close the lap. Very on the limits. Coming towards us is the standings leader. Taking the last turn. Heading through into the main straight. And let's see if Lionel Pernia can improve his son's lap time. Closing the line. And yes, he does. Moving up to the lead. Sebastian Martino speaking to him on the radio, the team director and owner of Honda YPF Racing. And it's a fun family one too, with the Pernias, as one of the laps was removed from Luis Ramirez. He remains in 8th place. Lights coming together with Juan Angel Rosso. We're in the final 6 minutes of this Q1 session. Juan Angel Rosso back on track. Here is Fabian Gianantonio, the 46-year-old. Here is 2022 champion Fabrizio Pessini, who lifted the trophy in this circuit in 2022. Santino Ballerini behind, he's in 7th. Nelson Piquet Jr. is yet to set a lap time. Adrian Chiriano trying to see if he can catch the rest of the pack. Otherwise, Ezequiel Bastidas might be knocked out. Alongside the TCR Trophy entrants, Chiriano, Enzo Gianfratti and Marianin Kotter. Adrian Chiriano heading on to the main straight. Let's see if he can move up a few places. He is in 13th. Not yet representing a threat, and Ezequiel Bastidas, who seems to be safe from the TCR Trophy drivers, but we have to yet see what happens with Nelson Piquet Jr.'s record in Sector 2 for Fabrizio Pezzini. setting 40.572. And now we have him in 11.43 in sector 2. But yeah, losing a few tenths in sector 3. Let's see how he closes the lap. Pesini moves up into 5th place. Well done by him. And look at Diego Pernia improving firmly his lap times and what he might have left for Q2. That's the question, as he's in a really quick lap in Q1. And there is Diego Pernia. Wow, 142.4. That's a big gap towards the rest of the pack. Diego Pernia moves up into 7th. As we are in the last seconds of this Q1, waiting for the final attempts. One minute and 10 remaining, and it's yet to be seen who might be knocked out. It seems Gianfrate, Ciriano and Nincoter are sentenced, but let's see if Ezequiel Bastidas, the newcomer, might have another attempt. Otherwise, it will be up to Ramirez, Raceto and Ballerini to secure their spots in the following segments. Some drivers are closing their laps but not improving. Gian Antonio, Ballerini and Ramirez. Mainly there is Rafael Reyes, so far in 6th place. And it's yet something really interesting to see in Q2. We see a clear domination from the Hondas as they have led every session during the weekend. Diego Pernia, quickest driver, and he finally takes first place in Q1. Of course, yet Q2 is remaining, but Diego Pernia once again arising himself as a very strong candidate. He has only 10 kilos. compensation weights. Here is the final standings. Thiago Pernilla leading Q1, 142.49. Exactly 3 tenths behind is Nelson Piquet Jr., Leonel Perrin in third, Fabian Gianantuoni, Fabrizio Pesini, Rafael Reis, Pedro Cardoso, Mariano Pernilla, Juan Ángel Rosso, Santino Ballerini, Gennaro Raceto, and Luis Ramirez all heading into the next Q2. Knocked out are Bastidas, Gianfrati, Chiriano, Nien Cotter.
No sé. En esta categoría no sé. Yo no tengo filmadora, ¿qué es lo que hago? Vamos al plano de curva y contra curva. Cuando pase el auto, viste que queda un espacio.
Here's Leonel Pernilla sitting in his car, waiting for Q2 after finishing in third in Q1. Santino Ballerini also made it into the next round. He is in 10th. That was his position in Q1. 1.4 seconds off the pace. Ezequiel Bastidas narrowly knocked out in his debut. Still has to push on the Audi to see how he does in races 1 and 2 tomorrow.
Ezequiel Bastidas en su debut en la categoría no
We'll
se
hear
pudo
from
pasar a la
Bastidas.
Q2. Contame un poquito
Couldn't
las
make it
sensaciones.
into the next round.
Hola, buenas tardes para
What's our
todos.
feelings?
Bien, obviamente no conforme.
Not
pero
satisfied,
bueno,
of course.
Tengo mucho trabajo para hacer con el Audi. Estaba
But
parado
we know
hacía
we
2
still
años.
have a long, lots
hay
of
que
work. This
desarrollar
car has
bastante.
been
Así que nada,
out of
gracias
racing
por
for
el
2
paradigma, por la
years.
predisposición,
But I'm
a toda
really
la categoría, por el
grateful
conocimiento. Obviamente a mi
to
sponsor,
the team and the series
a Matías
for
Sansi, que me está
welcoming
acompañando
me.
este año, mi viejo, y bueno, a toda mi familia, a mi novia, a toda la que acompañan. Seguiremos trabajando y bueno, queda mucho
We'll
por
keep
hacer.
on working.
Gracias.
As we still
Ezequiel
have long
Bastidas.
work ahead, says Ezequiel Bastidas. Here we see the best of Q1 without major surprises. Thiago Pernilla, the quickest. Lionel Pernilla, second quickest. Here on screen, in between them was actually Nelson Piquet Jr. 1, 2, 3 for Honda YPF Racing, followed by the Lincoln Co. of Fabian Gerantoni and the Cupra of Fabrizio Pezzini. Clear domination from the Hondas. Whenever it's the case, one of them will be leading. Full pit lane as we are slowly heading into the next qualifying session. And now we are opening Q2. Here are our 12 members of Q2. Time for Q2 in VILLICUM with TCR South America. Really now putting all the show for the final part of the session. Here are the Peugeots of PMO Racing. We have Raceto, we have Luis Ramirez and Cardoso. Here is the Panamanian. In this lap, Ramirez behind the slipstream of Cardoso. Three Peugeots altogether, as we still have lap times to Cardoso about to close his lap. Piquet Jr. moves into the top. Here are the first lap times about to be set. We have Pernilla leading on 142.0, 4/10 behind it is Piquet. Rafael Reyes in third. So here we have the lap times and the gaps on screen. It will be very, very tight for P10 and therefore reverse grid pole. As far as now it's Ballerini, but of course we have to see what Raceto and Pezzini do, as they are yet to close a competitive lap time. Lionel Pernilla beats in 40 seconds in Sector 1. That's quite a mark. Here are the cars. Now on fourth place is Thiago Pernilla. Here are the cars heading out on track once again. Gennaro Rasetto trying to get into the top 10. The newcomer into the season, racing his first year in the series. Gianantonio in 5th place in first on the picture, but not in a flying lap, as we can guess. Many cars in a cool down lap. As far as now, it's a 1-2 for the Hondas. Race puts the Cupra in 3rd, Thiago Pernilla in 4th, Gianantonio with the best Lincoln Co in 5th, Cardoso with the best Peugeot in 6th place, ahead of Ramirez, Mariano Pernilla, Juan Angel Rosso, and Santino Ballerini, who are, as far as now, in the top 10. Cars are heading out onto the main straights. Leonel Pernilla, Pezzini, and Ramirez opening laps. Here is Luis Ramirez. As far as now in 7th place, as it's Piquet with a record in Sector 2. This is a very quick lap from Nelson Piquet Jr. Records in sectors 2 and 3. Let's see if he can close up. Oh, had a wide braking. Very unfortunate. He will have to head into the pit lane. Wasted efforts. He wanted to go for pole position and wasn't. Certainly. Nice ending. He lost his lap as he had to head into the pit lane. Santino Ballerini knocked out. So is Pezzini, but he should close the lap now. Leonel Pernilla is at the lead. Let's see if Thiago can do anything else. Thiago Pernilla. He lost a lot in Sector 3. But he might catch up a bit. He improves his lap time, but cannot move any way higher from 4th. See if there are any surprises or not. In the final order. And here is our pole sitter, Leonel Pernilla, who improved the lap time below 142. That was extraordinary. Nelson Piquet Jr. in second, 1-2 for the Hondas of Honda WPF Racing. Then Rafael Racing third with the Cupra. This man's son, Thiago Pernilla, in fourth, and Fabian Gianantoni put in the 5 in 5th place. The quickest Link & Co. Only in 6th was Pedro Cardoso, then Luis Ramirez, Mariano Pernilla, Juan Ángel Rosso, and Fabrizio Pesini. The man on screen has the reverse grid pole in this Cupra, as Raceto and Ballerini are knocked out from the top 10. Here are the top 10. Pernilla, Piquet Jr., Reis, Thiago Pernilla, Fabian Gianantoni, as we said, Cardoso, Ramirez, Mariano Pernilla, Rosso, and Pesini. So it's Fabrizio Pesini and Juan Ángel Rosso in the front row for race number 2. 9 a.m. local time is race 1. GMT minus 3. 12:30 p.m. will be race number 2. Once again, GMT minus 3. So it will be 12 p.m. for race 1 in GMT time, and 3:30 p.m. for race 2. As here are our cars, all the 12 contestants heading back into the pits. Here is our pole sitter. Here's Leonel Pernilla celebrating. Fantastic lap by Leonel Pernilla. Very, very confident seems to be Leonel Pernilla for tomorrow. 158 to 136 from Leonel Pernilla to Cardoso at the top of the standings. After the protocol pictures, it's time to see the
Estamos con Leonel Pernía, una nueva
Let's
pole
hear from
position.
our
Va a
pole
recibir
sitter.
el premio de Seiko de la mano de Sebastián Caram, piloto de Pax Assistant. Y ahora
Sebastián
sí,
Caram,
una nueva pole
very
position,
promising
la
driver
segunda
from,
y consecutiva.
the Argentinian
feliz,
feeder
agradecido a todo el
series.
equipo
Hands the
Honda
trophy.
YPF Racing, a los amigos de
Very
casa
grateful to the
DirecTV.
team.
Gran
Says
auto, gran
Leonel
trabajo,
Pernía. It's a
aprendiendo,
great car, great
aprendiendo
job.
mucho a medida que voy saliendo a cada
I
tanda
am
del
learning
auto, de lo que le gusta, de
each
lo que
run
no,
on
que le dan
track.
herramientas para trabajar en la puesta a punto. Así que muy feliz por
Taking
todo
in
el
useful
grupo.
tools
Y
for
aprovecho
the
para mandar el
setup work.
saludo, feliz cumpleaños a Carlito Kulovic, mi gran amigo en el automovilismo, que
I
es
want to
el día de hoy.
thank and
Una vuelta
compliment
increíble,
my
parecía
good
que
friend
tu
Carlos
compañero,
Oculus
que
for his
Nelson
birthday,
Piquet
another
Jr.
racing
podía
driver from
llegar a arrebatarte
Argentina.
la pole, venía sin lastre.
After Piquet Jr.'s
Sí,
lap
tal cual, tanto Nelsinho
was
como Thiago
screwed,
se
your pole
mostraron
was
muy
safe.
rápido en la Q1.
Yeah, Thiago was quick too.
Y después muchas veces el auto cambia un poquito la actitud cuando le pones
My car
el caucho fresco, ¿no? Me pasó a
has
mí
a
en
few
Rosario que me
attitudes
caí
to
bastante.
change.
Y
With the
ahí
new
aprovechó
tires,
Thiago
it
y
happened to us in
Nelsinho.
Rosario.
Bueno, en este caso, el día de hoy fue a la inversa.
Nelsinho
Quizá
suffered
algunos detalles de puesta a punto y
some
pequeñas cositas
setup
te
details
varían la balanza a favor o en contra. Pero lo
might
importante es que
move
los
the
Honda
ballast
siguen
in
estando
front
adelante,
in
siguen
favor of
estando
us
competitivos
or not.
y aún pesado
But we are
marcamos
still
el rumbo
really
de la categoría,
competitive
que eso es muy, muy
despite
bueno.
the
Importante
compensation
hacer
weights.
puntos, tratar de sacar una diferencia
It's
acá
very,
en los
very
autódromos de
important.
Argentina antes de llegar a Brasil.
Is it
Sí,
important
sin duda,
to
sin
make the
duda,
difference
porque
now
en
that we're
Brasil
racing Argentina
primero
before
vamos
heading
a ir
to
a un
Uruguay and
callejero
Brazil?
muy difícil y muy rápido, Belo Horizonte, que
Yeah, we'll go
que
to
no
a very
conocemos
tough
los
track
pilotos
like Belo
argentinos,
Horizonte,
y
which
sí
we don't
lo
know.
hacen los brasileños, tienen una muy buena ventaja ahí que ellos saben que tienen que aprovechar.
The Brazilian drivers
Y
have a
después, bueno,
very,
todos los circuitos de Brasil
nice
que
advantage
sabemos
in
que
that
vamos a
track.
terminar definiendo el campeonato, entonces es importante
but we know we'll
sumar
decide the
fuerte y
title
sacar ventaja en
in
Argentina.
Brazil.
Leonel Pernía se quedó con la pole position
We'll
aquí en
try
VILLICUM.
to score good points and finish in the top. Said Leonel Pernía.
De presenciar una charla técnica en la que discuten hasta último momento con Seba Martino de qué hacer en el auto y qué no, y ahí están los momentos, las decisiones y
And
los detalles que terminan convirtiendo
that's the fastest car of today.
también de este momento
First car to score a lap before 142.
de los jóvenes talentos argentinos que a fines del 2023 fue a probar incluso Europa la Fórmula 4 italiana con el equipo Jensen y que está empezando a visitar los sponsors del TCR Sudamérica para proyectar el 2026. Sí, y a partir del TCR Sudamérica usando y transmitir el fútbol femenino TCR World.
Rafael Reis, tercera ubicación aquí en la
hear from
clasificación.
Rafael
Un
Reis.
lindo lugar para salir mañana en la primera
Third
carrera.
place, it's not a bad place to start.
Classificação, é claro que a gente sempre quer fazer a pole position, mas na verdade é que os Hondas
Yeah,
estão
we
um pouco
always started
acima nesse
for
final de
pole
semana, na
position,
verdade
but
o ano como um todo.
Hondas are really good.
Eu acho que o Pernilla conseguiu fazer uma excelente volta, mesmo com 40
Pernilla did a
quilos, fez um excelente
fantastic
tempo,
lap.
também estou com 30 quilos.
Even with 40 kilos, I'm
Mas,
with
bom,
30.
acho que é um bom começo, a gente teve duas etapas
But
não
it's
muito
not a
boas
bad
no começo
start.
do campeonato. O foco agora é marcar o máximo de pontos possíveis para a gente
We are focused
encostar um pouco
on
mais na
scoring as
liderança
many
do
points as
campeonato
we
e voltar
can.
a brigar.
Parece difícil alcanzar a los
And
Honda,
still
¿no?
keep on fighting.
Sim.
Seems difficult to catch
Estamos
the Hondas
estudando
in this
bastante,
weekend.
trabalhando muito para entender
Yeah, we are
e
working
melhorar.
really hard
Acho que
to
estamos melhorando,
understand.
estamos chegando mais perto. E claro, uma
We are a
corrida
bit
após a
closer.
outra, a gente vai chegando e tenho certeza que toda a minha equipe, toda
And
a
I'm
fábrica
sure
da
that
Cupra irá fazer um excelente trabalho para que a gente
all the
consiga
team
terminar o ano aí.
is
bem
doing a very good
competitivo.
job.
Gracias. La palabra de Rafa Reis, que va a
Says,
largar en
Rafael
la tercera
Reis.
ubicación mañana.
Who will start in third place tomorrow in race 1. And in 8th in race 2. But yeah, it was exactly as he said. The Hondas seem to be extremely powerful in this weekend. As we've moved over 2 seconds quicker, the records in the qualifying session. As we are now watching the best of Q2, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a big pleasure to be with you for this qualifying session. We're really grateful to have had your company at the other side of the screen. We'll come back tomorrow. Remember, 9 a.m. local time, 12 p.m. GMT time for race number 1, 12:30 p.m. Argentina time, that is 3:30 p.m. GMT time for race number 2. We'll have a great Sunday of racing in VILLICUM with the 3rd round of TCR South America. Thank you very much for being with us, and see you tomorrow. We'll leave you with the best of Q2.